The only path is my path down forever team paper. OUAI, that's my TBT. Go deep sea, check the stacks, I've been GPT. Every damn secure and collateral, still compatible with all my crypto bros in the States and Chinese nationals. So when
What's going on, everyone? It's the Underdog Research Channel. I'm very excited. It's the Underdog Research Channel. This is going to be a live presentation of my new series called SWFT Coin AI series. And is it a big one? Let me first tell you this. This is not for financial advice. This is help to put you in a position to win. I am a researcher. I'm a scientist, and I put it all together to give you information that's going to blow up your bank accounts if you know how to use it. Now, let me quote a famous quote. Those who want to see progression ask questions, but those who want to seek discoveries question the answers. That's exactly what we're going to do here. SWFT Coin. You think you know SWFT Coin, but are you truly understanding this project, or do you only of it? Let me make sure that we got everything going on here so we're good. Do you truly know SWFT Coin, or do you only understand part of it? I believe that what I've discovered, that your knowledge of SWFT Coin is incomplete. Today, I'm going to show you my investigation because you asked me to, and let's get right into it. If you're not a member, this is the first episode of the AI series. The members will have access to the following series. I want to give everyone the opportunity to get there. So scan a QR code, become a member of the Underdog Research Channel, put yourself in a position to win. This SWFT Coin AI series is going to expose a lot of misconceptions or things that you may thought were true, but if the shoe doesn't fit, we're not going to wear it. So I'm not going to give you information unless I can give you verified information, which I have done. And let's take you back. I need 90 seconds of your time right now. I'm going to bring you back in time to 5 years ago, a video I did about a particular project. I want to start there because in order to see the remainder of this, I need to give you a foundation of what I'm talking about. I'm going to bring up a major company called Tencent. I'm going to bring up this company. It's a Chinese company. It makes gaming. It does a lot of things, payments, a lot of stuff that people may not be aware of because you may not live in China and understand it's a big company, but it is a big, huge company in China. I'm going to play this for you, and then I want you to get founded, and I'm going to ask you a question immediately afterwards. Here's 90 seconds. Let's go into this and talk about this. Here we go. Crypto, aka Jay, here with another cryptocurrency video. It is time for the Wealth Analysis Research Series War. You're not going to want to skip anything, folks. Would you drive a car blindfolded? Even if you was a good driver, that doesn't mean it's a good thing to do, folks. And before you buy cryptocurrency, you absolutely need to know all you need to know about the project in depth. But within the first 5 minutes, I'm going to tell you about this project. But if you so educate yourself and blow up your bank account, then you are welcome. Wait till you see this right here. Tencent Holdings. Tencent is humongous. Billions of dollars in revenue worldwide. They have several huge games, and I will only pick a couple to talk about. But Tencent, this company here, Tencent, you're going to look at this name and recognize what this means. This is one of the largest gaming companies in the world, and I'm going to show you why. The fourth quarter of 2020, Tencent was the highest grossing gaming company worldwide. The company generated approximately $6.7 billion, folks, in gaming revenues during the measured period. No doubt it's the best of the best. And your boy in our crypto checked them out, and an increase of 25% over the first quarter of 2020. Now, this is a great increase. And as you can see, that they have a profit that was around $34.5 billion increase. Billions, folks. We're not talking about small fries here. Now, this is Tencent company, and here's a view of this company. What will be the next challenge for Chinese internet giant Tencent? This is an article from November 21st, 2017. As one of Chinese internet giants, Tencent Holdings Limited has dominated the domestic market in the past several years by providing huge varieties of online services, crossing from entertainment to payment systems. Especially its mobile chat service, WeChat, currently owns over 930 million active users and way more now, folks. And most users spend over 4 hours on the WeChat every day. There is no doubt that Tencent has become one of the most valuable companies in the world with the surging revenue, stock price, and number of active users with Tencent Holdings. That is huge. And that is in China, folks. Now, let's talk about that. This is what Tencent chairman CEO said. During their first quarter, they delivered solid growth across their business, continue to enhance their products and services, and it looks bright at opportunities of various verticals to operate, enterprise software and high production value games. Tencent is in communications, search engine, games, software apps, social media, entertainment platforms, payments, and they are also an e-commerce and portal site. All right. Now, June 13th of 2021, I was providing this information because, the whole point of this is not a timeline conversation. If that's all you get from this, I failed my job. My job is to provide you researchable facts in crypto investigations using my background skill sets and apply it. Data without application is simply non-usable. We use the data to find insights. That is how we like to be in the market. Others look at technical analysis. I look at researchable information. Now, why does this matter? June the 13th, 2021, I'll tell you about this big company. Now, here's the first question I'm going to ask you. Do they have an incentive to lie? Because if you believe they have an incentive to lie, then you don't even have to watch anything further, because the rest of my conversation is going to be based on information I found in a Chinese website, and I found buried, and it was from this organization, a organization that makes billions of dollars and is connected. Let me share that with you. So we're here right now, and what do we have? You're in this project, or you're aware of this project. You may just be coming here for the first time. You don't know what this project is. So congratulations. You're a winner of the most unknown projects there are. And I've done hundreds of videos about this, and my community asked me to do more. I didn't think there was more to see. This was not on purpose. There was a pattern I found which exposed the hugest discovery of this project ever, and no one has ever discussed it. You will get it right now if you bear with me. 2017 is that when SWFT Coin was started. That makes a difference, because if it was started in 2017, then we have one narrative, that's the US narrative. Or did it start in 2004, a Chinese narrative? Now, here's the thing about it. Both of these narratives cannot be true. Now, you can try to argue the point, but these two things can't be true. Either something initiates on one date or it initiates in another date. If you're not understanding why that's important, why does it matter? Imagine that you have money in the bank, and imagine that your pay goes to your bank. Now, if you go to try to get your pay out of the bank a day before you get paid, you're not going to get there. Why? Because there's no money in the bank. If you did the work for 2 weeks, you expect to get paid on time, right? Time matters. The implications, whether you can pay bills, whether you can live based on time. Well, with this, either SWFT Coin is a brand new project that is innovative and has created partnerships and leaderships over the past few years since 2017, or it's longer, older, and has other partnerships. And if that's true, who are they? Where does the money come from? Well, I'm going to share this investigation with you. I'm going to walk you along with you. Please pay attention, take notes. I'm going to put up right there for you to see it. I'm not running from the research. I'm running toward the research. I want you to pay attention to discovery and the patterns. So the story that you have so far, if you had any idea about this project, you've seen it on Coinbase, you got the American story. 2018, we hear about this project. A lot of people didn't know about this project. We see it on Coinbase. That's the American story. But I'm telling you, you only know 50%. Matter of fact, you probably know less than 50% of what really is going on with this project. So let's go through this 50%. Tencent. I just showed you an article. I'm going to bring it up here. This was me talking about Tencent. Now, Tencent Cloud Blockchain. This is a part of Tencent. They produce websites. They produce information. They produce media. They are a huge conglomerate in China. This is what they said on this particular portion of their company. I'm going to read it to you. Connecting the future cloud and blockchain, enabling borderless collaboration. As a leading blockchain service platform and technology provider in China, Tencent Cloud Blockchain is committed to building an interconnected blockchain infrastructure that integrates technology, data, value, and industries. It leads innovation, is underlying blockchain technologies and industry applications, assist in the transformation and upgrading of traditional industries, and promotes the deep integration of real economy and digital economy. So what is this? This is the Wall Street Journal for China for blockchain technologies. This is basically you picking up a one-stop stop, and you can look at all the sources so you can find out what's happening if you want to invest in something. So this is their source. Let's talk about what I found. If you're going to seek out information, you might want to go to the places that are hard to find, not the easy stuff that some content creator can give you. Let me show you what a researcher can do. This is what we got. January 9th, 2018, an article I found in Chinese, which I had to translate and find buried, was from Tencent. Let me show you this article. This article right here was published January 9th of 2018. Now, I don't speak Chinese, but you know what I can do? I can put a few things together with the technology we have, and I can research and find out what it's about. But during the course of it, I thought to myself, if you're going to research something, maybe you should look in the language that you believe that the founder's from to just see if there's anything there. Well, I wasn't expecting to find anything, but I did. This is Tim Draper, the American billionaire who invested in SWFT Blockchain in 2018, where the American story starts. But right here on January 9th of 2018, we see Tim Draper here. Well, I see an article and I translate this. I'm going to read it for you because it's going to be important. Translated at the top, it says SWFT, the same project that we're talking about today. Give me the opportunity to read it to you so you can understand that we're talking about the same SWFT. Let's read it to make sure that I'm right. SWFT is a fast and easy to use digital asset conversion platform developed by Silicon Valley's SWFT team. Utilizing blockchain technology, it starts with the exchange between digital assets and extends to the exchange of traditional fiat assets, earning its reputation of being the next generation Ripple in Silicon Valley. It currently includes an app version, web version, and an API. The triple application of artificial intelligence, big data, and blockchain technology allows users to easily compete cryptocurrency exchanges and always execute optimal investment strategies. SWFT has now been upgraded to version 2.1, including the pairwise exchanges between 10 cryptocurrency powerful wallet functionalities. That's going to be important. Pay attention. First generation of SWFT was a powerful tool for avoiding cryptocurrency price fluctuations and arbitrage. Blockchain technology, starting with the exchange of digital assets and extending to the exchange of traditional fiat assets held in Silicon Valley, United States of America, the next generation of Ripple. That's XRP for those who don't know the connection. Let's keep going. It now includes an app, a web version, and an API. The triple application of AI, big data, and blockchain technology allows users to easily compete cryptocurrency exchanges and always execute optimal investment strategies. SWFT has now been upgraded to version 2.1, including pairwise exchanges between 10 cryptocurrencies and powerful wallet functionality. The first generation of SWFT was a powerful tool for avoiding cryptocurrency price fluctuation and arbitrage. That's here what it said. I went through that fast. You can always watch this again, slow it down, back it up. What did it say? The key things I want to pull from that. It said 10 cryptocurrencies. Now we know today cryptocurrencies, it has over 800. So this is the earliest stage. It also said 2.1. That means there was something prior to it. You don't have a part 2 unless there was a part 1. Are y'all tracking me? But here's the thing I need you to pay attention to. Look at the date. Let's look at the date. January 9th of 2018. That's going to mean something in just a second. On this article, I put it right here. I put a circle by it. This is on the article directly in Chinese, and I made it into English so you can read it. Published on 2018, January the 9th. Pay attention to the dates. We want to be researchers or we can be casual viewers. I want to win. I don't know about you, but I like money and I like to put myself in a position to win. If you don't see the money in it, that's okay. But people pay big money to hedge funds and to hedge fund managers to see alpha, to see the moves before it happens. Or you can just go off of some content creator who rolled out of bed and just tells you what you want to hear, or you can get information to put yourself in a position to win. Somebody's going to make money this year. It could be you or it could not be you. It's up to you, but pay attention. Check it out. At the bottom of this article, I put my Underdog logo because people like to steal my content. So I just want to give you my research right there. I put a circle around it and an arrow. It's 2018 January. Now somebody's saying, Underdog, I don't get it yet. I don't understand. Time matters. Let's tell you why that matters. I translated the top. This is what it said in 10 cents, published January 9th, 2018, Draper Innovation Fund. So now we have no doubt. January the 9th of 2018, Tim Draper, their American billionaire, who invested the funding into SWFT Blockchain that we know of in 2018, is being discussed in China. And it's being discussed on a site that has billions of dollars of revenue, and they're talking about it in a specific way for the competitive aspect to XRP, aka Ripple network. That was why I was deployed. At the time in which they talked about it, it only had 10 cryptocurrencies. Now it has over 800. At the time in which they talked about it, it was doing what? It was about to get an investment. About to get an investment. Let's see what they say. So let's bring this up. Tim Draper, translated at the top, it says Draper Innovation Fund. Let's find out what China said on this day. SWFT Coin receives investment from DDT, a top U.S. blockchain fund, January 9th, 2018. Now, right there, some people they're going to tune out like, Underdog, we already knew that. Oh, you didn't know what you're about to hear. Pay attention to the date, and let's find out if they're telling the truth or not. Let's find out what they said. Draper Innovation Fund, originating from the Draper FJ Dragon Fund, is one of the core funds for Draper Venture Network, the venture capital system under Tim Draper, the godfather of Silicon Valley venture capital. It mainly focuses on investing in high-tech companies in Silicon Valley and China. Tim Draper, currently DVN Innovation Fund, has 2 dedicated funds focused on blockchain investment. The entire DVN ecosystem, including Draper Associates, invests first globally in top blockchain investments. Its portfolio includes companies such as Baidu, Tesla, Hotmail, Skype, OKCoin, Coinbase, Tezos, Bancor, SpaceX, Twitter, AngelList, Tumblr, and Unico. The signing ceremony between DVN and SWFT Coin will be announced at a later date. What did we find out? I hope y'all walking with me because we're right there. And by the time you finish this, you're going to understand why this is such an impactful information, why this matters. This is before the investment. This is Chinese website that is telling you a $1 billion website, 10 cents. They're publishing articles. They're publishing for who? Businesses, industry, to invest and to be aware of this investment, which is what a competitor to Ripple. And what did they have at the time? SWFT Coin only had 10 blockchains. They have now 800. What's the connection? An American billionaire who has the ability to invest first globally to ensure that his money is going to be spent in that place. And then secondly, in the U.S., what did they do? They're telling you right now that what's about to happen is about to be an investment. The investment has not happened yet, but Underdog, prove your case. Well, let me prove it right now. SWFT Coin, February 1st of 2018, 24 days later, what do we see here? This is from Tencent. They told us it was about to happen 24 days later. And sure enough, SWFTCOIN CFO, that's Alex Witt, that's the person on the left-hand side. He's a CFO of SWFTCOIN. The signing ceremony that Tencent said was going to happen on February the 1st of 2018. Now, that's where the American story stops and starts. Everybody and their mama, they've been talking about this portion, February the 1st of 2018. Everything you thought you knew is about to go wrong. And I'm about to share the truth. Now, this is what you knew. You knew of the American story. You knew about that investment in 2018. When did it happen? February the 1st of 2018. When was it announced? 1 month before it was announced in China. So you didn't find out about it until Tencent, a $34 billion a month company, was telling you about it a month before. This is not a day before, a month before. But there is other stories that we didn't talk about. There is a connection to the Japanese story of SWFTCOIN. That is for the next conversation for the members who provide it. Today, we're going to go about this story. I want you to know that January 18th of 2018, we're going to talk about the Japanese story. Remember where the money came from. Started in China, talked about Tim Draper, an American billionaire. Now you got the nexus. What did they do? They told you in China a month before the signing on February 1st. What happened? It happened. 15 days later, though, there's another story. And what's that story about? Let's find out. 15 days later, on January 18th, 2018, you've heard about this. I talked about it in my very first SWFTCOIN video, SWFTCOIN Japan. And the only thing that a lot of people have talked about with this, which is additive information, is symbols and things like that. And that could be helpful. But I want to put you in a position to make money. That's what I want to do. Now, I can't promise you you'll make money. All thing I can do is direct you in the direction. I want to give you research that matters. Pay attention. 15 days later, on January 18th, 2018, that's 9 days after China, I showed you the article, had talked about it. What did we see? We saw the establishment of SWFTCOIN Japan. Now, that may be something you're interested in. I think that you need to know about that because there was so much stuff that's been overlooked and gone through because you're getting this through a water hose. I want to give you very succinct steps to show you why this matters. So here's the truth, guys. The truth is you don't know SWFTCOIN. And I'm about to now take everything you knew, everything you thought you knew, and I'm going to challenge it. And I'm going to challenge it by simply showing you information. Now you have to make the decision how that's important. I'm going to give you my perspective at the end, but let's get to it. If you've been watching my platform, you got a few stories. There's a Singapore story of 2017. Why? That's important because we keep starting at 2018 with Tim Draper. But there's a Singapore story. Let's talk about that. Is that the right SWFTCOIN? Does that matter? Who are they connected to? What's the companies, the businesses? If we don't know, how can you invest your hard-earned money into something you don't know? How can you truly sit there and not understand unless someone's showing you the truth? And that's what I'm about to do. Well, let's talk about it. I thought that SWFTCOIN started in 2017, okay? And I thought that was from Tim Draper and it was United States. But let me show you this. This is in one of my previous videos. This is from MetaPath. Let's read the top together. SWFT Blockchain is a next generation cross-chain transfer platform and a payment network. Keep reading. Platform and wallet with over 200 cryptocurrencies. Now that's done went up. This is 2017. Wait a minute. Let's go back. Let's go back before I even finish it. In 2018, they said they had 10 cryptocurrencies. Didn't I just show you that? So how is it in 2017 they got 200 cryptocurrencies? I'm so confused. That's okay. I'm about to unconfuse everybody. So now they're saying that I have 200 cryptocurrencies. One click, decentralized transfers, price limit orders, payments using Swift Pay. Fast, affordable, secure cryptocurrency. SWFT Blockchain has received funding from top VCs, including Draper Dragon. Well, wait a minute, folks. I thought, am I right? Tell me I'm not wrong. Didn't we find out that didn't happen until February the 1st of 2018? See, there's a pattern I'm already seeing. Are you seeing it already? How you go backwards in time and you're talking about they've received funding. Now, I understand MetaPath was made later, but listen, this is their words from their website, from their terms of service, from this product. Let's see what MetaPath is. SWFT Blockchain had received funding from Draper Dragon. Read at the bottom and read with me. SWFT Blockchain is incorporated in Singapore in 2017. Is China and Singapore the same countries? They are not. Is United States, China, and Singapore the same countries? They are not. So something's already amiss, guys. How can you have in January 9th of 2018, China talk about the investment from Tim Draper? Well, now we know that SWFT Coin said it started in 2017, but we need to make sure we're in the same place. The American billionaire. And then at the same time, in 2017, it has 190 less cryptocurrencies, excuse me, as I was, has 190 more cryptocurrencies than what they said in 2018. We call that a clue. We need to pull at it. When something doesn't fit, you don't just, oh, I don't know, and just move on. You got to pull at it. Someone's not telling us the complete story. I'm about to tell you the complete story. Now, it says it right here. I'm going to pull it up again. They said the first cohort startups at Berkeley Blockchain Accelerator. So I looked it up. So this is Berkeley Blockchain Accelerator 2017. They are the original SWFT team. Right there in the middle is Christina Chen. I'm not going to talk about her today. Behind her is Alex Witt. Look at the very middle. And those are some people. But I want you to notice someone that at the very left of Christina Chen. Now, if you don't know who Christina Chen is, okay. Look at the very center. There's a young Asian lady with a white shirt standing to the side with her arm down. There's someone standing to the left of her. That is going to be important later on, but you don't get it today. Now, let's keep going. Now we have MetaPath. Let's read it again. MetaPath is the intellectual property of SWFT Blockchain. You knew that. Read and read. We are building two products, MetaPath Platform and MetaPath Protocol. I'm not trying to be disrespectful to anybody. What I'm trying to do is say the devil is in the details, but we think we know something, but we're not paying attention. You say you put money into it. You say you want to blow up your bank account. You say you want to make money. So let's pay attention to details. Didn't it say it's doing two things? Let's read the two things it's doing. First thing is the platform. So the MetaPath platform is the first thing. The second thing is the protocol. It's not SWFT. SWFT already told you, I just showed you that it is the intellectual property, MetaPath, the intellectual property of SWFT Blockchain. MetaPath is now saying they're doing two things. What is the second thing? You can tell me the MetaPath website all you want to. What is the MetaPath protocol? Well, I'm going to share it with you because I've told you this in 2024, but it matters now because something's amiss, and I needed to share that with you. Check it out. We have already built the MetaPath platform, which is the one-stop shop and will enable users to find a protocol. Initially, we will use the API to connect them. But in phase 2, we will use the new product called MetaPath Protocol. Wait. Are we in phase 2? This was 2017. Are we in phase 2, everybody? Ladies and gentlemen, are we in phase 2? You got SWFT Blockchain off of Coinbase. This is not SWFT Blockchain. They told you in the 2017, their terms of service, that SWFT Blockchain owns MetaPath. MetaPath just told you they're doing two things. That's not even their part yet. I just want you to understand the devil's in detail. What's the two things? The website was built, everybody. Now they're making a protocol. That phase 1 happened, but phase 2, what phase are you in? Because if you know what phase you're in, you know what's about to happen in 2026. But let's get to it. Now, initially we built phase 1. We built the platform. Phase 2, use a new product called MetaPath Protocol. The goal of MetaPath team is to realize the interconnectivity of blockchain ecosystems where users can reliably swap and transfer digital assets. Now look at the bottom in green. What did I put there for you? I put a green square around it. Contact Path Finance. All right, folks, I'm going back in time. Now, this is going to be a lot for some who've never heard of it before, but look, you can go back and it's going to be time coded, but I want you to understand what I just said. I need you to get this as we go. You cannot continue to say SWFT Blockchain, SWFT Coin are the same thing. The blockchain is the cryptocurrency enterprise, if you will. It's like saying Walmart, But what's inside of Walmart might be other things that function it. Cashiers, you got people who drive, whatever, the little stocking stuff, whatever you do, it's made up of other things. So if you continue to put Swift Coin in the same synonymous sentence as Swift Blockchain, you will miss what's about to happen. I can't help you to do this. You have to do this on your own. MetaPath. You cannot continue to say MetaPath and Swift Blockchain and just keep moving on. Phase 2, they're going to do something. I'm about to show you and the timeline, but you got to see it. So now we got that. Notice that they also called it Path Finance. Let me share this with you. In 2024, I brought you this research. I found the person who stated to be the CEO on LinkedIn. Look at what I showed you here. Matthew O'Neill was the name that they provided. I found that they had a name, Board MathPath, founder and CEO of MetaPath. I found that it said path.finance, the same that matches MetaPath. I found that they said metapath.me, the same address to MetaPath. This was in 2022. I went a step further. I went and I doxed them. I found out their whole resume. Look to the right, folks. Matthew O'Neill, CEO of Path Protocol. MetaPath, CEO, Path Protocol. Experience, March 2021 to present, Path Protocol. What is his previous experience? Google, Intel, Outbox, Virginia Tech. These are things you should pay attention to. I even went to the bottom because I think it's important. Look at the bottom. Built Virginia Tech's gigapixel display in their resume. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, I had a little challenge finding this in 2024. And don't forget, the purpose of this conversation today is not to give you historical things about what I've already told you. It's to show you what you don't know, and that's what's about to happen. But I need to build that foundation. Matthew O'Neill is not a real name. I was able to discover it. I will not dox this person because they didn't do anything that deserved for them to be doxed. But this is the information they put out in the public. I have since found out who they are, where they live, and this is a real person. I'm going to share something with you in another video, but I want you to understand they're the CEO of Path Protocol, which is the protocol that MetaPath said they were building in phase 2. Now, let's go further. We can further find this information that I'm showing you right now. This is the second original page that he created, Path Protocol. And what did he have before? Path Protocol on a resume. And what did they have before? Path.finance. And what did MetaPath say? Look at the bottom, path.finance. So now I can definitively tell you that we know what it is, who it is, and the timeline matches. But this is the part everyone's missing. And this is why it's going to be important to understand, when did Swift Coin actually start? What is its real origin stories? Because someone is trying to distract you on purpose because they don't want you to be in a position to win. And I want you to be in a position to win. There's a lot of people already rich out there. Some people put themselves in a position to win because it's self-serving. I'm just going to give you information. You do with what you want, but best believe when I found out what I just found out, your boy Underdog Researcher is not in this to lose. So let's talk about what MetaPath does. MetaPath integrates any tokenized asset. Let's put a period right there. Let's talk about it. So tokenized assets. Right now, they got the Clarity Act. I'm tired of people talking about the Clarity Act and not truly understanding what that means. That means it gives the banks and everyone else the legislation that they need in order to tokenize everything. Big companies like BlackRock and JP Morgan Bank are doing this, but it's not just them. Go to China, Tencent, go to Japan, one of the hardest regulatory places. Swift blockchain is already there, but people are only giving you symbols and stuff. I want to give you the connections that matter. Who are they connected to, and what do they have planned for 2026? Because they got something planned. MetaPath can transfer tokenized assets. That's stocks, bonds, real estate. That's crypto, fiat money. That is anything. Real world assets, they can already transfer it. You need to know who they're teamed up with. But let's get back to this conversation. And the full plan, I gave you all that in 2024. I gave you that conversation. In this one, Billionaire Blueprint Part 3, Swift Coin 3, I told you the Money Trail series. I told you the first person to release MetaPath. No one else even knew about it, but I told you about it so you can see the connection. And now the Money Trail series has been completed. But let me share what I shared with you then, and let's talk about this timeline. Let's get back on track. SWFT blockchain, was it created in 2017? Are you starting to question a little bit now? Because I'm about to question everything you thought you knew. Here's Ramble Land. Let's look at the top. Pay attention to details, folks. He is the founder off his site of the North American Blockchain Association, SWFT Coin, Coinbase, MetaPath, DeFi, SWFT Pro. You see that there. But what did you extract? Now I'm gonna give you grace, folks. For 23 years, I have been in this industry in some form or fashion, whether it's legal, whether it's investigation, whether it's cyber, whether it's technology. I'm not going to give you my full resume. All you see is a guy on the internet and you don't know what my background is. But so let me say this. We call this a clue. It's not just having data in front of you, it's extracting things from it. If you're going to find out who may have done something of a heinous crime, you got to be able to recognize evidence. So let me present my evidence to you. Look at right here. Let's see what I found. From this, let's extract this. First clue. This person, who is SWFT Coin's CEO, stated that they're also the founder of the North American Blockchain Association, SWFT Coin, and tagged Coinbase. It says MetaPath as well. It says Ramble.DeFi, SWFT Pro. Let's keep going. In my series, I shared with you that there was two people that were in the United States who filed LLCs under the name GooCoin. One named John Shin, who you see in the top, who filed at the One World Trade Center in Long Beach, California, and that's on 6/16/2017, and that business was terminated. The other one was Ramble Lamb, who filed it a year before on 10/3/2016, but look at what they filed it at. Look at the bottom, active bow land. So right now, we call that a clue. We got John Shin and Ramble Land. John Shin filed for the same company that this person did, Ramble Land did, but their name changed, and I'll talk about that, from Ramble Land to Bowland. But GooCoin is the company that was formed that is behind the creation of SWFT blockchain. So it's like saying Walmart and Sam's Club. You understand these are separate entities. Well, sometimes you have a company that created and you're talking about SWFT blockchain, SWFT blockchain, SWFT coin, SWFT blockchain. The company started right there. I'm going to show it to you again. Look at the bottom, Ramble Lamb, 10/3/2016. I share that with you. But notice their name is Bowland for GooCoin Incorporated. Notice that Ramble Land started a corporation, but John Shin started a limited liability corporation, LLC. But why? I shared with you also that John Shin is on the white paper. A lot of people didn't realize that. And he's over EB5 Investments. That is so important. But the timeline, we got to get back to it. Remember, I told you earlier in 2017, we read it ourselves. It was incorporated SWFT blockchain in Singapore. But the company GooCoin is obviously here in the United States in 2016, before it was incorporated in Singapore. Wait a minute, folks. Are you already starting to see there's some timeline conflicts? Now, could you register in one place? You could do all that, but let's just make it simple. Sometimes the best investigation is the simplest answer. The company GooCoin precedes the creation of a token. The token precedes the creation of the app. The app interjects itself and gets liquidity, and you talk about SWFT Coin while they are talking about the company. Investors in 2018, Tim Draper, who were talked about in 2017 to have already invested into it, somehow it went from having 200 cryptocurrencies in 2017, but the announcement from China, they only had 10 on January the 9th of 2018. So somehow they lost 190 cryptocurrencies. Where did they go? You're just going to have 200 people in a room. You go to speak. You go to the bathroom, you come back, and 190 of them are gone, and no one's just batting an eye. No one wants to know who they were, who they talking to, where they come from, who are they? Well, I did. And when I found out, I said, I need to take all this information. I've been working on this for months. Wanted to wait till my series was over with, but I need you to start thinking, why, Underdog? I'm about to share it with you. So we see right here in front of you. I'm sharing this with you. Look how the time I took to make this. I got a picture of the place. John Shin's version of GooCoin, 6/16/2017. There's the address to One World Trade Center, Long Beach, California. I took a picture from satellite view of Google Maps. I put it in there right beside Bowlands. Look at Bowland. John Shin's in green and orange. Underneath it, see Bowland. I'm not just making this stuff up. It was terminated. You didn't believe me? It's from the white paper. Here's SWFTCOIN white paper. John Shin, he's the founder and CEO of Sunstone Management in the United States, EB5 Regional Centers Holding Group. Sunstone partners with Morgan Stanley, AB Funds, M Group, Seraph Group. And he works in EB5 Regional Centers approved in the United States Citizenship and Immigration Services. John has a degree in Perkins University, sociology. Is it a coincidence? You know it's not. Let me tell you why it's important. So I just showed you right here. I'm going to show again John Shin, who you see creating a company called GooCoin in 2017, a few months after Rambleland, who's now known as Bowland, right here off the SWFT Blockchain white paper. No one connected that before. I'm giving you this alpha because you're going to need to see who they're connected to. Because I distinctly remember a few times that money just shot up out of nowhere, $111 million on a particular day when John Shin did something. I particularly remember that there was a few times. It's not a coincidence I continue to be there before the money flows. And you think it's a coincidence? I think not. Research over hype. Let me share something with you. Remember I told you about GooCoin and John Shin? I just shared it with you. Let's go back to it because this is all connected to SWFTCOIN. You don't believe me? Let's go here. Bowland. Now we know that was the same way that Rambleland found its name, GooCoin. 1601 McCarthy Boulevard, Melipotas, California, 2016, which matches the registration right here. So now we have the business records, which I verified, which I disclosed to you, which is the first time. Notice the date. Notice the name. Let's pull this thread. This is what I want you to see. Now Rambleland name change. So if anybody from this point before, you've seen all these videos, if they're searching for Rambleland, then you're searching in vain because his name's not Rambleland. It's not even Bowland. He has a Chinese name. And the reason that change occurs is because of not only Western civilization doesn't have the same alphabet as the characters in Chinese, but it's also more acceptable. I'll go through that a little bit more because it matters, but I need you to remember two things from this. Bowlam is the name. Rambleland is the name. October 3rd, 2016, GooCoin was incorporated, California, 1601 McCarthy Boulevard. But, you know, I got some surprises. February 1st of 2018, what did we find out? 24 days later, what did we find out at the very beginning of this? That's when Tim Draper came into the picture. So I just gave you right then the American story, and I just put it back because you remember Singapore said 2017 SWFT blockchain was there. Wait a minute, it's not making sense. Singapore saying 2017, California saying 2016. You know, when you sign those business records, it says if you put down bad information that you are committing perjury, right, or false statements to the government. So I'm going to go with what was said here. I'm going to go with the business records. I'm going to go with 2016. I'm going to go with when you see your name attached to it, that this is the true records. And I'm going to believe that his name is Bowland because that's what he put on the documents. That's what he said. And it matches. Now, if that's true, and that's true, then we're going to move on. And I'm going to tell you that we just shared 2016 to 2022. Now, remember, we started this SWFTCOIN started in 2017. Well, we're already starting to see that GooCoin came before, a year before. SWFT Coin was even stated as incorporated in Singapore. The company, the cryptocurrency platform, the app. That's the pattern. So let's apply my methodology to the rest of it and let's test it. Remember at the very beginning, I told you that advancement comes from doing what? Asking questions. But discoveries come from questioning the answers. That's questions and answers, folks. So let's see here. I'm still not convinced. I want to apply my theory to the rest of it. I believe you got 50% of the story. So this recent conversation, my people, the people who come to watch the Underdog Research Channel say, Underdog, can you do another series on SWFT Coin? And I knew that I had a half the story done with the American part. So I did the other half. And this new SWFT Coin Connected series that you can watch, make sure you join so you can watch it right now. Let me tell you where I brought you. And they're watching. They know where I brought you. I brought you in 2021, the Switzerland story of SWFT Coin. If you don't know who they're connected with SWFT Coin, I'm not going to take you. If you don't have $20 to put on a conversation and you put more than $20 in cryptocurrency, that's on you. Switzerland incorporated with a major industry company that does the same thing as BlackRock. We discovered that. Bermuda. We brought you to Bermuda. I brought you to Bermuda, found out why. Have you noticed that? Switzerland, Bermuda, Singapore. What is the commonality? Did I mention that in the Chinese release in 2018, January 9th, they talked about a future investor, which was Tim Draper, who did a month later invest in SWFT Coin, who globally invest in China and the United States? Coincidence, right? Did I tell you that SWFT Coin was then in 2021 has a Bermuda connection and they're registered in Bermuda, but also have another company registered in the United States? Don't people have bank accounts in Bermuda for their special? Maybe it's just in my mind. Have you ever heard of the Swiss? Have anybody ever heard of Swiss bank accounts? Why do everybody invest their money in Switzerland? I wonder if that's new information. And SWFT Coin is connected to it. It's just a coincidence. Just a coincidence. And what about Puerto Rico? Puerto Rico, I told you about a 2022 connection about a company connected to SWFT Coin directly that's connected to SWFT Coin. So we got Puerto Rico now. Let's recap before I move forward. We got Puerto Rico, we got Switzerland, we got Singapore, we got the Bermuda, we got China talking about an American billionaire who has the right to invest in both America and the United States, but you want to think it's not important. Oh, we got 2016 that starts GooCoin. And we see that's true because we see the business records in California. But wait a minute, we got 2017, the MetaPath that says that they was incorporated in Singapore. But wait a minute, we got SWFT Blockchain that on February 1st, 2018, what happened, Draper invested in it. And then we say it started in 2017. Something is not right. And then let's look at what I found on a Chinese website. Let's see here. Tim Draper, that same person I told you about. Let me show you this. Look at what we have here. We have this in front of us. We have SWFT companies. This was updated September 6th of 2025. I circled it in green. Let's see what they said in China about SWFT blockchain. Let's read it out loud for those in the back. They said at the bottom, circled in green, founded year 2017. That checks off. Investor, Draper Dragon. That checks off. Location, China? What? Wait a minute, folks. I'm starting to see a problem here. It can't both be in Singapore from MetaPath, which says they was incorporated in Singapore in 2017, but in 2017, they're saying they're incorporated in China. Maybe it's a typo, right? Or did I find something? You know, it would be better. You know, I done found something. So we got now another unknown thread. So far, we got a top. Is it in Singapore, 2016? GooCoin's in California. Now China saying, who owns this thing, right? Where is the money coming from? Well, now we got some conflicts we need to figure out. And that's what I want you to know. I'm showing you the conflicts you can see. Right here, I put at the bottom. We see that in 1601 McCarthy Boulevard, Milpitas, California, 2016, Ramboland signed documents that said that SWFTCOIN, which is the underlying company, was created in the United States, which made SWFTCOIN. But then on the Chinese website, I found that it says that it was made in 2017 from Tim Draper. And it matches what China said January the 9th of 2018 on the $34 billion month company Tencent. Maybe that $34 billion company Tencent had it wrong at the time of. You know, one thing I want to share with you. This is just a personal thing, professional, if you will. When you're investigating something and you're asking a person a question, and let's say it happens at the beginning of the year, and then something happens throughout the year, and then you ask them a question about what happened at the beginning of the year, your memory doesn't get better as it goes further away from the date the thing happened. The memory gets worse. So why would, in January the 9th of 2018, the $34 billion company who is there to give accurate information to investors say the thing that came true? They said that in the future an investment would happen, and then less than 24 days later, February 1st, 2018, the thing happened. So why is it they're accurate then, but now they're not accurate? Unless the hardest thing to do is to get everybody on the same page, because that's how you spot discrepancies. See, that's the problem with the age of technology. You can't control it. And when you have investigators look at it, we key in on discrepancies and we pull at them, and then the discoveries, we question the answers. I want you to question the answers with me, folks. 2018, January 9th. I showed you Tencent. They gave this article. Here you go, Tim Draper. And if you believe it, then January 9th, 2018, if you believe that that Draper Innovation Fund actually funded SWIFT, then that means that 1 year, 3 months, and 8 days difference occurred between the creation of SWFTCOIN and SWIFT itself. Let's bring it back for the people in the back. 1 year, 3 months, and 8 days prior to you ever hearing about SWFTCOIN, SWFTCOIN, by their own documents, their own articles, their own information from third parties and firsthand accounts, indicates the company came first, then the foundation of what? The cryptocurrency blockchain, then the app, and that matters. We need to keep going back. SWFTCOIN, 2016. I pulled it up here so you can watch it with me. It's up to you whether you want this information. Now, this is not about a timeline. This is about the truth. What did we find out? There's conflicts. SWFTCOIN says 2016, Bowland, aka Ramboland, registered in California. Business documents are verified. 2017, both Singapore and China both claim to be the original registration. The only way that could account for is in 2017, they started in China, but then they went over to Singapore, which is possible. But there's a problem, though, with the 2016, because if that's true, if they started in China in 2017 at the earlier part, and then later on went to Singapore at the other half of the year, then why is 2016 SWFTCOIN in California? They all can't be true, folks. And that means we got to question the answers. Because if you don't question that answer, if you don't see that big flashing red light, that either can be a really good thing or a really bad thing. I'm optimistic that this is going to be a really good thing. But let me share with you. We got here, folks. I put it right here. I did this in my first video, my SWFTCOIN video. I showed you 1601 McCarthy Boulevard, Milpitas, California. I'm showing you the name, SWFTCOIN incorporated on 10/3/2016 from Bowland. I even put a picture and the man there so you can't have any doubts. Registered in California, the USA. But I now need to test out and question the answers because China is saying something different. Let's test it out. Y'all ready to research? Let's get to it. So we got SWFT Coin Foundation. I went over to Singapore. I had to find out. They can't keep telling me something that doesn't make sense. I'm a researcher, folks. If it don't make sense, make it make sense. So let's find out about that. SWFT Coin registration from Singapore. SWFT Coin Foundation Ltd. 9/18/2017. Now, we got that right there. You know what? Let me just so you know, that says 2017. I'm seeing at the bottom, I have 9/18/2017, but on the biggest display, it shows 2018. That's a typo. It is 9/18/2017. And it was at 3 Fraser Street, Duo Tower, checkmark, SWFT Coin Foundation. And right there, it was development of software applications. So 9/18/2017. Excuse my typo. I did a lot of work here. So can I have one typo? Can I have some grace? It's there by September, registered. But China said something different. China said that they was there and they had 51 to 200 employees. Which one's true? Either it was in China with 200 employees. That's a lot of employees. What happened to them? Where they work for? They quit. We'll find out. So we find out 2017, but here we go again. I'm bringing this up so you can see it. Look at the bottom in red. I'll read it to you. SWFT Blockchain incorporated in Singapore in 2017. Now it matches. Don't worry about my typo. You see it over there, right? That little arrow going to it. 2017, 9/18. So that means that was true. And also, now that 2016 is starting to get a little bit on my nerves. Doesn't it get on your nerves? How can Bo Lam be in California in 2016, but he didn't immigrate here until when? And if he did immigrate here, why did he start a company that he started under Bo Lam, Ramboland, that was SWFT Coin? That's the app. It's SWFT Coin Pro app. And why did 464 days, 3 months, 8 days? Why did we have this change? What happened in between there? Who did they talk to? Who's their partners? Where did money come from? Y'all want to know? Let's find out. So we find this out. And then we see a 10 cent. 10 cents been messing everything up for everybody. If they tell the truth, this is interesting. We found out they published January 9th of 2018. I keep hitting that date. Tim Draper established that he's going to fund on February 1st, 2018, signed the contract with SWFT Blockchain. So the investment came in 2018. The company was already up by 2017. The actual company, GooCoin, was up by 2016. Remember those dates? Then we found out about Japan SWIFT. Everybody just kind of, hey, here's the symbol. This is what it means. No, let's talk about the money. Let's talk about the money. We can talk about symbols later on. Can we talk about the money? So we talking about the money. So SWFT Coin is getting established, but who are they partnering with? Who are they established with? And how can they be in Japan? Then we got Tim Draper's investment. But there's a wrench in that. Look at this, folks. Yeah. The internet betrays them again. Bolan, I show a Chinese app. Founded in 2015, but it says in California. Bolan, GooCoin.com. Wait a minute, folks. You mean to tell me, I'm going to go back because you trying to tell me which one's right, folks. You trying to tell me that I see right here that it was founded in 2016, 10/3/2016. It was registered. But then the China site translated, it keeps being a year earlier in California. Now, either they're an oracle and they can see the future, or they're indicating something that was true at the time, but the information got changed by the time that you saw it. There's a discrepancy, folks. GooCoin now started at 2015. Now we're going backwards, folks. I thought you knew SWFT Coin. I thought you was certain it started in 2017. I'm just bringing up the discrepancies, folks. It's not my fault. Let's go over it. Here we go. Now we got 2015, 2017. I got GooCoin China 2015, the same name, Bolin, GooCoin.com. Then I got Ramboland registered, GooCoin Incorporated, October 3rd of 2016. And then I got SWFT Blockchain registered in China, 2017, which GooCoin is the underlying company. Which one is it? But maybe it's the matter of perspective. You see, the problem, folks, is you got to understand, though, if you only look at, like when I made the billionaire blueprint, that was about American billionaires who invested through MetaPath in SwiftCoin. But it only talked about one project, Shima Capital, who were the investors. When I did the SwiftCoin mini-series, I talked about Arcanium Capital, and that went to other places outside of US. That was 50%. What I'm saying here is, if you only watch my videos, which have the most online about this topic, then you don't know half the story, because right now we're at a place where we got to figure out where the money's coming from. And this is what any investigator would tell you. Either you give up because you get confused, or you don't understand the importance, but you follow the money. I'm following the money, the technology, the people. We are going to get to the bottom of it by the time we end. Here we go. Let's find that money, folks. So now we got 2014. Chinese website. I put it here, translated for you to see. This is what I found. Let's read it together, folks. Release date of GooCoin, 2/4/2018. Let's read it out loud. Why am I saying, excuse me, as I was, 2/4/2018, February 4th. The release date, GooCoin.com, just so you know, the same GooCoin.com, now goes a year earlier. But let's read at the bottom, Ramboland, released in November 2014. I'm not done. GooCoin, release date is 2018. February the 4th, 2018. Wasn't Tim Draper do the signing ceremony on February the 1st of 2018? It must be a coincidence, but that can't be, because let's read the bottom of it. Country of origin, overseas. This is a Chinese website quoting GooCoin in China, and it says the country of origin is not China, overseas. But let's read the bottom for the project introduction. Released in November 2014, it is a probability-based digital currency. Currently, it is the only weekly centralized digital currency in the world that can be mined on mobile devices. Each mining group consists of 8 users, and within 2 minutes, a winner is randomly selected to receive Valley Shell coins. As the number of users increases, the difficulty to obtain the shell coins. Houston, we have a problem. This has now brought the company GooCoin from the United States and Millipotis, that I took a lot of time to research, and from the release online where we found 2015, it brought it back to 2014, November specifically. Question the answers to get discoveries. Ask the questions to get advances. I'm about discovering. Let's discover some stuff. SwiftCoin, 3 days later, from where they said right here on this release, signed the contract that they told you about January the 9th of 2018, 10 cent before it happened. And here we have the same time frame, this site telling you that it's going to be released, and it was on the same time period, the same person. So now we already got SwiftCoin from 2017. We're all the way to 2014. Somebody, anybody, do you see the problem with this? We need to explore all the connections that you didn't supposed to see, because they didn't want you to see them. Because right now, let me tell you, 2026, I found the connections, and it is amazing. So let's keep going. So now we have established, folks, very clearly that GooCoin started. I got all three down there, so no one can mess up. Look at all the work I put into this, folks. 2014, November, GooCoin, China was established. Says overseas. 2015, GooCoin, China also started. And where? United States, the app. 2016, the company. What did we find? Let's talk about the pattern. Establishment of the company, establishment of the technology, establishment of the app. Sometimes you see it switch just slightly, but that's the same principle. Even if you went from 2014 to 2015, what are you seeing? Just like before, a year before the deployment of the thing, the app, they established a company. This is what's happening with SWFT Blockchain. They saw it with SWFT Coin, MetaPath. You see it with GooCoin. GooCoin is actually a coin called GooCoin, which Boland is the person who owns it, the same person who established it. Nothing has left. The continuity is there, and the partnerships are there, and they're moving in silent for a reason. And you're smart enough to figure it out. And here's the final answer, folks. Folks, I'm happy to show you that deep buried within the Chinese sites, this is what you'll find. SWFT is a digital asset exchange platform that provides cryptocurrency trading services based on a trading pairing algorithm engine powered by machine learning and big data mining. It offers users a convenient way to exchange coins, saving them time and providing them with discounts at transaction fees. SWFT, SWFTC, there's the logo to the left. Date, November the 2nd of 2004. And it says cessation of operations. Just in case you didn't believe me, let's show you a little bit more. As you dig into this Chinese site, we find the following. I circled company to the left. It says it's SWFT company, and it gives a new name. It says establishment 11/2/2004. They doubled down, stood 10 toes down on it. And what did you see? SWFT.org, SWFTCOIN.org. And at the top, I found the name Rumpelstiltskin. That's not the name. Let me show you the name of the company. The Chinese name translated to English is the Beijing Taijing Gang Technology Company Ltd. Now, that is research over hype, but I'm not done because you don't know SWFT yet. You think I'm done? I'm just warming up. I just gave you something that no content creator has ever disclosed on the World Wide Web, and you got it right there. But someone's going to say, Underdog, how do you know that's right? Now, let me show you. This is their business records. Deep within the internet, I found a verification. Boland, tied to this company back when this was released, a veteran Bitcoin player and founder of Guhu Hobo, Boland, aka Rambleland. It says about him. He lives in California. Rambleland lives in California. He is over GooCoin. Rambleland and aka Boland is over GooCoin. But if you didn't believe that's enough, it shows in the United States. Let's go down deeper. He posted this. Former development manager at Timeless USA, general manager at Beijing Taijing Gang Technology Company Ltd. GooCoin. Folks, November the 2nd of 2004, your current American story SWFT was actually the Beijing Taijing Gang Technology Company Ltd, also known as GooCoin, November the 2nd of 2004. Further, let's talk about this. In the January 9th, 2018 10-cent article, remember I told you it's all going to tie back in. They already knew this. And let's see the purpose of SWFT Coin's existence and why it matters. If you translate this from Chinese to English, I underline it in red. SWFT Coin will be the new competitor of Ripple at Ripple. And circled in green, it says GooCoin. Can't see it very well, but I put it over to the right. And it gives China and Ripple. Bringing in the same article that they first announced Tim Draper and Tim Draper's plans for both Coinbase, it all came to fruition. So when you're talking about companies that are trying to get into the Asian market, Ripple being from this area, remember Fugger is the Canadian individual who had Ripple Pay. It wasn't until 2012, I believe, if I remember serving correctly, he got with 3 other individuals and they created what we know today as XRP. And they are in the bank's standard charter. Every single time you've seen people trying to break into the Asian markets, because we see there's billions of people there and a lot of money, we're talking about someone trying to go against the grain, and you're expecting investors over there to want to put us first. Why? Let's just be honest. It doesn't go with logic. The reality is the best method is the Trojan horse. Let me pull this up so we can be on the same page. The Trojan horse is a company that has China backing, Japan backing, South Korea backing, Singapore backing, and already is established, who was made to be the interruption, the disruption to Ripple itself, who started 2004, the same year as Ripple Pay. This is not a coincidence. SWFT Blockchain was in the cryptocurrency business before Ripple ever was. Ripple was in a website credit card services in 2004. It didn't come XRP or what it came today until years later. This individual, Bo Lam, the CEO of Beijing Taijing Dying Technology Company Ltd, aka GooCoin, aka SWFT Coin, ceased operations of SWFT Coin because an American billionaire said, we got a plan. We got a plan, Ramboland. Our plan is very simple. We're going to take the world by storm, and you will become the competitor to XRP Ripple. You think it's a coincidence? Ramboland got onto Coinbase, and it continues to be one of the lowest cryptocurrencies and price there is on the whole site. Not when you already own part of the network of Coinbase. By Ramboland coming to the United States, setting up operations under the EB5. Remember John Shin? I told you about him. That is, he had to do something. He set up 10 American jobs minimum and had to invest $1 million to play. Tim Draper gave him that money. And that's why you see a difference between 2016, 2017, because there was no investment. The EB5 investment was his funding to get to the United States, to set up shop. And even in the SWFT Coin white paper, they talk about that. Now, folks, we just learned the biggest news, and it's not even partly done. It's what I discovered from here is going to just blow your mind. Honestly, that is the foundation. And from the rest of it, this is what you're going to find out. I'm going to now, in my AI series for SWFT Coin, give those who care more than the $20 that it take to get onto the private membership and sites. Those are 2 separate things. But if you want to get on there, you make a decision. If you got more than $20 worth of your hard-earned money into a cryptocurrency and you don't even know what's happening next, you're in a bad trouble, because that's not an investor. That's a gambler. I don't like to gamble. I'm telling you, use this to your advantage. I can't tell you what's going to win. I can't control what they do. But now you got an inside scoop. Now, best believe the things I just shared are going to start falling off the line. When I exposed a coin on CoinDar, they said there was a stellar connection. I exposed that, went through it, and the moment I exposed it, people start deleting things. That's why I'm capturing this for you right now. This is alpha. I'm not giving you the market standard of research. I'm giving you above and beyond. It took me a long time to get this together. So I want you to know that I'm going to tell you the significance and the partners. We're going to go to Japan too. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about what we need to know about China's connection to the cryptocurrency that is already able to be here. They got the connection with the American billionaire in California. He actually gave money toward the Karen administration. But people, you got to understand, it is people who don't have money who fight about who's in control of the government. It is people with money. They're going to work with whoever has control of the government. Money, green, could care less about politics. Crypto is purple. So if you don't want to get something based on the fact that this particular politician, I'm sorry. For example, did you know that California has done a lot of things? California regulations by Gavin Newsom is what created SWFTCOIN to integrate zero knowledge proofs. I talk about that in my series. Why is that important? Because now they can do tokenized stocks. You need to understand that 2019 was significant for SWIFT because of a Democratic governor who put regulations on them because he wanted people to get money back from these big companies. But maybe you don't want him because, in fact, he's Democratic, or maybe you don't like the Karen administration. It don't matter. What matters is that you see these connections. Now, let's go to it. Japan, we'll be going there too. Huge overlooked. Listen, I'm going to tell you what that means, and we're going to get through that. Great. That's what that means. I'll talk about the symbols. Can we get to the connections, though? Can we get to the connections that matter? Because I think that we're getting so caught up in the forest and everything else. And people are like, what do I get from that? I need you to understand that this discovery right here changes everything. You now have to work forward from 2004 to find out who's the partners, where's the money, who they associate with, where are they going, when they're going to go, when's phase two, are we in phase two? What is the roadmap? I got it. I got all of it. And it took the research to get there. So we're going to be doing that. If you don't know who these individuals are, which I know you shouldn't, take a screenshot. Somebody can try to be Underdog, but you're not going to be. People wait till after I do it. So take a screenshot. Sometimes I don't get credit, folks. I see my stuff. I see my stuff everywhere else, and people sometimes I talk about my stuff. They don't give me credit, and that's okay. That's okay. As long as you're winning, I'm good. But at least give Underdog some credit when I give you this alpha that you use in your own platforms, and make sure that you give me some credit because this took a lot of time to get there, and I'm getting it to the people. So if you don't know who these three individuals are, you should. And I'll tell you why. We're going to go through the Japan story. That's huge. You need to know that. And the South Korea story. I'm going to expose more revelations that you never knew. We already just did the origin stories. I had to do the origin story as my first video because now that you know that Ramaland is Boland, now that you know the connections, is going to help you know. Did you know that there's multiple companies that SWFTCOIN has purchased, created over the last year? I told a colleague of mine in the same area I'm in a few months ago about this, but I had to get through the series. Why are they buying these companies? Why are they creating these companies? Did you know that? We're going to expose who those companies are, what they are. I'm going to show you step by step. I'm going to show you the timeline, what's wrong, and a lot of stuff that you know. So go online, search SWFTCOIN, find your favorite content creator, and then I want you to do the same thing. Don't ask questions, question and answer. I invite everybody. If you don't like anything that I said here today, don't get mad. Research it and come back because this is about discovery. And I put it all on here for you to win. It's not for me. I know what I know. It's for you. So don't believe anything. Verify everything. I just gave you some huge statements. Let's see you verify it. I challenge you to verify it, please. The Forgotten CEO. I'll be sharing with you a forgotten CEO. That's my terms, but they're not forgotten. This individual is humongous, connected to SWFTCOIN. And one of those countries I just told you about, there's somebody in the works working on the behalf of this country, this company, not country, on the behalf of this company, but they're doing it for their country. But you're going to be benefited from it. But you need to know who they are and who they're connected to. We're going to go that, like I said, through SWIFT and XRP aka Ripple Pay. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about the gateway. I hope that y'all are taking notes because there's a gateway between Japan and Korea. We're going to talk about that. There's a top wallet that has $6 million in it at the time. I doxed it. I know who it is. I've been knowing who it is for months. I didn't say anything about it. Why should I? If you don't take the time to do this research and learn for yourself, why should I give you that information? Why? Don't make any sense. Only those who are serious investors come to my channel. Casual investors, you're not here for that. You're here for somebody to tell you skyrockets, little rocket ships. Real investors, real investigators, real truths are exposed here. That's what we're getting here. So I'm going to give it to those. This will be a part of my series. So I'll expose that to you as well. Now, I want to say this. Because of what I do in my skill set, I end up over-doxing. And so there will be times where I don't release information to make sure that I'm protecting people's personal privacy. I don't think any of these individuals have done anything that warrants them to be doxxed, where personal information that could lead to people bothering them comes up. So I will not participate in anything that is harmful. What I am going to do, though, is release information that publicly can be released and that I believe that is not harmful, that can still get my point across and share with you insights that you can use to leverage. I want to make sure I'm clear on that. So my intent is only to dox to the point of sharing exactly ownership, but I will not put anyone's personal information out there for no reason, because we're in this space for a little bit of anonymity. Even though you don't have it completely with the right skill sets like mine, I can find anyone in the world. But I want to make sure that I'm sharing this with you guys. So I won't dox someone to harm them. I will dox them enough so that you can see the wallet and connections through the research. Just want to make sure I say that. South Korea play, that's going to be coming up. No one connected this. That's going to be coming up. All this in the series. And you talking about you don't got 66 cents a day y'all better get on this Underdog Research channel. And then finally, the secret of the white paper. The white paper has a treasure trove of everything. It's not about what's on the surface. It's about what's beneath it. I can't express to you at this point, this is going into year 2. Yeah, 2004, I first started talking about SWFT blockchain. 2023, October, I started researching it. Now, it wasn't me. You asked me to do this. When I'm asked to do a job, I try to give you the best research possible. I'm a researcher by nature. So listen, I want you to win. I have no dog in this fight otherwise. I mean, the reality is companies come and go. Some companies fail. Some have great ideas. Some don't. Many of them won't last. I cannot control the outcome. So don't come here because I said, hey, this is going to happen. And if the company doesn't do well, they don't do well. I don't get one dime from these companies. But what I can do is put you in a position to get as much information you can about something that you put your money into and make a decision on your own. If you find the information is helpful, you find it's good for you, then use it. Okay. Now, folks, I'm going to turn to you now. Now, this episode ended right here. This will be trimmed down and placed into the site for future reference and not have the comments. But I want to, since you took the time out your day to come join me, I want to make sure I address you. So I'm going to pull this up. If you have any questions about what I went through, feel free to ask. And remember, I am inviting all researchers, content creators, anyone whatsoever, non-hostile. If you see anything that you don't believe is accurate, then simply do 2 things. 1, conduct your own research on that thing. I have nothing to hide. I put it there. I put the visuals out so you can see them. And then 2, you can send me a comment, look in my the YouTube, or if you're on my private site, my email to contact me is there. Reach out to me. I believe in communication. So I hope that this is helpful. I may not have said some of their names correctly. There was one typo I saw there that I made, but I corrected that verbally. So I will correct those things when I do post-production, but this is a live broadcast. So normally the broadcasts are not an hour long. So let me turn to you folks. SWFT Coin, created in 2004, November 2nd, 2004. Beijing Taijing Gang Technology Company, Ltd. All right, folks, that's it. Let's go to the top. Thank you for joining. Let's see who's here. Let's see what you have to talk about today. Let's talk. All right, so get this here, get this straightened. Let me take this down. All right, let's see who came here today. We got, hey, Underdog, Lenaranic Roko. How do I access your website if I'm a member? That's supposed to be a part of the perk, right? Yeah, so let me address that real quick. Thank you. That's a good question. So I have two sites. If you're just tuning in, if you're a casual viewer, you might not understand what that means and what it does. So I have a private site I've had for a year. This is not on YouTube. It's on a different private site. That way I don't get censored. I can talk about things I can't talk about on YouTube. So that site is available. There's also a YouTube membership site that has 3 different tiers. Now, the highest tier on YouTube is $19.99. So 66 cents for what I just gave you, 66 cents a day. So $19.99. This is what I'm doing for a perk because this is just to help benefit you. So you don't have to pay for 2 sites. This is what I do. If you have the highest membership on this site, which is 66 cents a day, $19.99 a month, very inexpensive, then I'll just make you pay the difference between the 2 sites. So if you get the private site, you'll see the link in the description of this video. Then you just got to email me and say, Underdog, I'm on both sites. And then I'll give you a discount code and verify that you're on both. And it will give you the $19.99 back in a discount. So if you're paying 20 bucks, the discount will be $20 a month off of the other site. And only thing you're doing is paying the difference between 2 sites. You're getting 2 for the price of 1. So you have to do that at the analyst level. Now somebody might say, well, what if I'm not an analyst level? I want to get the $5 a month membership. I mean, you can do that too, but it really doesn't make any sense because let's say you get the $5 membership, you'll get early access to videos and CyberPaw podcasts, other things I do. And then you go get the other membership. That one costs more. And even by discounted $5, it doesn't make any sense. It gets 100% discounted on the back end. And so you'll get a $20 discount on the other site. So it's a way for me to help those who might want to see videos, content, and training who are not on YouTube, who also don't like the censorship of YouTube, who want to freely talk and leave comments and reach out to me. That's why I created that site. Now, that site costs money. All this costs money. Doing this takes money and time. So I think last I checked, that site costs about $3,000 a year to run because it's basically a subscription. So the point of it is that you will invest in things that you find important. You can get the things for free, but I can tell you right now, as you just saw, you're not getting this for free out there. Typically, content creators are giving you narratives and they'll move on. I am one of few people, you got other people that I have a lot of respect for who do this as well. If I talk about a content and I tell you about it, if I see something that I don't like about it, that is from a research standpoint, I'll tell you. This happened, I think, at least 2 to 3 times in my 5 years. There's been 2 projects. I went back and I told people, hey, you know what? This is what I saw. But as I start researching, I start seeing something wrong. I don't play favorites, good or bad. You're going to get it. So make sure. Some people don't like that. Some people just want me to only pick things that win. I don't pick anything. I find something of interest. I research it so you can better understand it. But that's how you get the sites, just so you know. So email me. Emails in the description on my profile. Emails on the site. Look at the description of this video for both the link to my website and press join. It's literally 66 cents. If you don't want to spend 66 cents, there's plenty of free content. I've been having free content for years. But to be honest with you, like my members who just got off the SWFTCOIN mini series, they already know about things that most of the people on the web don't know about, and they make moves based on the things they know. And that's why I think it would be beneficial for everybody. So that's how that works. Thank you for the question, Lenaroko. I see you're a member, so appreciate it. All right. Company is huge. Phantom Beats talking about 10 cent is huge. Haima Sam Sneed, what's going on, Haima? Good for you to be here. Thank you for joining. I appreciate you. Always great to see you. Someone that I know is interested in the research over facts. One of the greatest people I know right there. Appreciate you, sir. Phantom Beat, I remember this one talking about 10 cent, clear as day, Microsoft and Apple competition. Yes. SWFTCOIN holder. Hey, Underdog, y'all talking my favorite subject, brother. Swift rocket red countdown liftoff, rocket red countdown liftoff. Now, this is someone who likes his Swift coin. I'm glad you liked the video, man. What do you think about that? 2004 Swift coin was created. So let's keep that up there so people can see that. 2004 Swift coin. Matter of fact, let me do this while I'm here. Let me pull this to the very, very top. So those who are interested in being members, either press join, scan that QR code, pay your 66 cents, quit being cheap, and become a member of the Underdog Research Channel. All right. We got Max FOMO. What up, UD? Can't believe I finally caught you live. Sup, UD fam? I appreciate it. How you doing, man? Good to see you. I'm glad you caught me live. I don't go live often, but with something like this, I had to go live. I've been working on this for months. This particular presentation that you got today, that took 2 weeks and lots and lots of hours. I'm talking about whole days and up all nights to put everything together. And I only came out with one typo. So I think I did pretty good here. So I'm hoping that you enjoyed it. So thank you. Then we got Andrew Kelly, 7259. Love it. Love it. Appreciate it. We got Satoshi Nakamoto. I'm the Swift coin whale. All right. Hey, there you go. The look is over with, folks. Satoshi Nakamoto is the Swift coin whale. That's what I was going to say anyway. Thank you very much for just appreciate you doxing yourself. Thank you for being here today. We got Facts, Satoshi. Appreciate it. Laugh my butt off. Stop following the wallet and relax. Sorry, Satoshi. I gotta do it for the people. I gotta do it for the people. I'm gonna just dox you just a little bit, Satoshi. Pump it up. All right. I'm American if that matters to you. Satoshi. I love your energy, man. Appreciate that. I appreciate that. He said, let's go, Jaime Sneed. Let's go. Grace, I appreciate you, Jaime. I appreciate you. Let's see. We got Satoshi Nakamoto. Swift was held back because there was an insider from Coinbase that leaked out that it was going to pump before. It even went to the thing, so they held it back because of an employee. Wow. See, you never know what you can find out. This is alpha. And that irritated crap out of me because I'm stacking for over 5 years. So you got a big bag. We got Golden Nuggets, Hyman Sneed. We got Deep Seeking Facts. I love it. SwiftCoin, Enlighten Us, Underdog, loving it. SwiftCoin Hoarder. And we got SwiftCoin Hoarder, Rocket Red Countdown, Liftoff, Rocket Red Countdown, Liftoff, Swift, Rocket Red Countdown, Liftoff, Rocket Red. Okay, we get it, SwiftCoin Hoarder. Somebody's excited. We got Veronica Williams. Thanks for so much info. Love it. Oh, thank you very much, Veronica Williams. Appreciate you. And finally, stop being cheap, trying to getting money. You got that right. I don't know, folks. Sometimes y'all don't want this money. Y'all don't want to pay 66 cents on a YouTube membership. The member site is there. It's available too. So that's it, folks. So does anyone have any questions? This live stream will be broken down, chopped up, and placed into a manner that is less harder to watch a whole thing because these live streams can be long. But that is everything. So what did we find out in conclusion, and why did it matter? 2017, you thought SwiftCoin was started in the United States. That was the narrative. 2004 is the truth. One of them was real, one of them was not. And now we discovered through research over the hype, the main truth. And what was that truth that we learned, no matter where they brought us, is that Beijing Taijing Gang Technology Company, LTD, November 2nd, 2004, Boland is connected to SwiftCoin. And it said it, and it says that right here. And it even said it's cessation of operations, China, Beijing. And it was confirmed with several different sources as well, even connecting GooCoin by information he uploaded himself and the company. So I believe him, and I also believe the patterns there. So hopefully that you guys see that, and let's put it out there. Private, so worth it. Yes, sir. Thank you very much, Jaime. And last but not least, proud member. All right, SwiftCoin Hoarder. Well, folks, I don't see any more. Oh, wait a minute. I got one last one. I see right when I'm about to finish up. So I see another one come through. ZBEC follows SWFT Coin. Now, let's talk about this. Let me share something with you guys. I'm gonna say this. Let me just share it with you. Let me just share it with you. Listen, I'm going to play this for you. 16 seconds of the song that Indigo Saint made for this. And I want to make a point with it. Give me a second. Here we go. 16 seconds. I need y'all to stay with me for 16 seconds. Let's see if we can find it. There we go. Check this out, folks.
The only path is my path down forever to paper. OUAI, that's my TBT. Go deep sea, check the stacks. I've been GPT. Every day I'm securing collateral, still compatible with all my crypto bros in the States and Chinese nationals. So when
if you paid attention, you know, Indigo Saint is a musician and he uses his art and he ties together cryptocurrency connections and music. Now, I don't know about you, but I love it because you actually listen to the different songs. Every series he does the honor, he creates a new song for a different series for the channel for your enjoyment, but he also makes connections. Notice he made a connection. I'm about to talk about ZBEC in just a second, but he says something here, and let me pull this up real quick for you. And I think it's important. Now, pay attention to this again. Listen, really listen. Check it out.
I mean, come on, man. We could all be friends. Hey, if you can see my capital, homie, bet you find out I'm see my capital, homie. Yeah, relying on these dragons, but they ain't Tim Draper. The only path is my path down forever to paper. OUAI, that's my TBT. Go deep sea, check the stacks. I've been GPT. Every day I'm securing collateral, still compatible with all my crypto bros in the States and Chinese nationals. So international, MoneyGram on the line. I'm so cross-chain, it's like cross on the other line. You talking swaps? I'm on top. You wanna swap? I got NFTs you can drop. Bigger picture now. Ripple, my brother, we share one mother. XRP, click the gold. We building a bridge together. Bloom doing things we weren't expecting this soon. I hit up Mocha, got his voice milk. His homie was on the moon. We at the top.
Now, to some, you may not like the music. Some you might love the music. But my point is, I extract information from everywhere. If you notice, the song itself has a lot of alpha in it that you don't even know about. The song predated this discovery. He talked about Shima Capital. He talked about Mocha, XRP. He talked about connections. And he takes all this, absorbs it, and he does research on his own. And then he'll create this music. And I go through it, and it's amazing of how accurate it is. South Korea, Asia, the connections are huge. So when you see this, you know, I love it when he does it, but I know it takes a lot of time and effort for him to do it. Pay attention to the song and music and slow it down. Get into it, because I promise you there is a message in there. I then put my visuals together with what he is singing, and you know, and I show you the connections. But like Shima Capital, the question he brought up is ZBEC. So let me share with you, you know, Black Rule Investing. He is the premier person on ZBEC, and he is a content creator, and I call him a researcher who knows his business, and he is great at what he does. Now, he brought to you months ago that Shima Capital, which we talked about in a Billionaire Blueprint in 2024, which was the primary aspect for my series called the Billionaire Blueprint. Well, he talks about the fact that Shima Capital is the primary investor in ZBEC. Now, the thing about it, though, and I don't like to step on toes. I don't like to step on toes at all. But here's the thing about it. Let me pull this up here, because I said this earlier, but I want to make sure that I'm sharing this with you. Shima Capital, primary person. Let's pull this up here so you can see this. there is a connection with a few places that I brought up. It's just you're not seeing them yet. Switzerland, Bermuda, New York, Puerto Rico. And in order to understand it better, I could cover these aspects because he brought up something that's interconnected. But it's uncanny how the research that he is doing on Shima Capital, Zebek of Shima Capital, is connected to a part that people are not looking at. Remember, I told you about the second phase, Path Protocol, MetaPath, the B2 network. Go look at my free content. You'll see a lot of that out there. But we're watching these videos for entertainment, and that's great. But if you watch them for strategy and you use it to help you better understand the project, you'll see a lot of things happening. Shima Capital is connected in some big ways. And I think the thing about it is it's in that song, it's in the research I do. It just I may not be saying some of the project names that he is saying because we tend not to try to talk about the same topics. We want to give you a variety. So while he's talking about Zebek, I don't want to talk about Zebek because he's covering that. What can I cover that adds value? You talk to other individuals. So this is where I'm going to cover that adds value that I want you to know about. We learned about Draper Innovation Fund. And I've told you, and I'll tell you again, that there is a huge, huge Japan connection. Now, others are going to talk about Japan, and I think it's important to have some review of it. But there was a connection to South Korea that's happening right now. And unfortunately, the reality is it takes me a while to get this out. So there's going to be some people who just miss it because they just don't have an opportunity to see it. And so I don't want that to be you. I can't get the information out fast enough to you. It takes me a while to fact check, to do the research. It takes a long. Then everything you see is visuals. I create every visual by hand. So this particular presentation that you saw is 106 visuals for this one video. 106. Everything is by hand. So it takes a ungodly amount of time to finish one. So I gotta very much support you going to becoming a member because you'll be the first to see it. As soon as I can get it out, I'll put it out there. But in the meantime, watch my free content. I have plenty of it. If you're not watching some of the free episodes, I'm giving you some huge indicators. But I just want to put that out there about not only Indigo Saint, but what you're seeing here. This play right here, the AI series about the top wallet, it was actually a Black Room Investing who asked me if I would go ahead and release that information. We talked about it months ago. And then I was on one of his live streams while I was viewing his live stream, and he mentioned it. I just told him that I had actually known who that was. So he asked that I could give that value by sharing that with you. So because of that, I will try to share that with you. Again, I want to do so in a respectful way, and I want to do so in a way that's not harmful. And I think I can do that, but that's why it took a long time to come up with research to be able to dox that wallet, but I was able to do so. So that's the type of value you can get. This one right here, though, this Korea connection is imminent. Imminent. Japan and Korea, imminent. I can't stress it enough. Imminent. One more time. Imminent. So, do what you need to do, but question yourself. What did you learn today? And did what I share with you today give you more information than you knew before? So just want you to put that there. Last but not least, Hamas said proud member. He's a proud member of the members only site, private site. Thank you for being a member. And that is everything. Thank you very much. All right, folks. I don't have anything for you. I hope that you liked this content. I hope that it was enjoyable. I hope that I has helped you to ask the questions that gives you advancements, but better is to question the answers to give you discoveries. And this was a huge discovery. All right, I'm out of here, folks. Until next time, this has been the Underdog Research Channel. Take care.
come on, man. We could all be friends. Ay, if you could see my capital, homie, bet you find out I'm see my capital, homie. Yeah, relying on these dragons, but they ain't Tim Draper. The only path is my path down forever to paper. OUAI, that's my TBT. Go deep sea, check the stacks, I've been GPT. Every damn secure and collateral, still compatible with all my crypto bros in the States and Chinese nationals. So international, money gram on the line. I'm so cross-chain, it's like cross on the other line. You talking swaps, I'm on top. You wanna swap, I got NFTs you can't drop. Bigger picture now, rip on my brother, we share with mother XRP. Click the gold, we building a bridge together. Plume doping things, we weren't expecting this soon. I hit up Mocha, got his voice, milk his homie was on the moon, we at the top.